Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can. And I continue with the Forgotten City, Blind. Now, I am at the end of another loop here. Malleolus is going to win again. But when I'm fleeing, I'll try to get into a particular room that's normally blocked by a statue.
As agreed, we shall dispense with ballots and candidates will abstain from voting. Let's make this quick. As I say your name, call your vote. I'll start with you, Horatius.
Sentius, of course.
Georgius.
Malleolus.
Dacius.
Malleolus.
Galerius.
I abstain. I'm just here to observe.
Virgil.
Malleolus.
Rufius.
Malleolus.
And finally, Domitius.
Malleolus. Who else?
Wait. Rufius was lying to me then.
Your new magistrate is Marcus Malleolus.
He said he's going.
Hail, Magistrate Malleolus.
Do you have two different colored eyes, by the
I
way?
said, Hail, Magistrate Malleolus.
Possibly. Yeah, I think so. One green and one blue.
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. And now, I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens. Under my leadership, you will finally enjoy the freedom you deserve. No more shall you walk on eggshells, fearing simply to live and breathe, because the tyrant Sentius told you it was forbidden. For my first act as magistrate, I hereby announce a day of celebration to mark the end of an era. The myth of the Golden Rule is no more.
The Golden Rule is real, you idiot.
For his attempt to deceive us all, Sentius is hereby found guilty of treason against the Empire.
What? I have committed no crimes. This is madness.
His sentence: to fight for his life in gladiatorial combat against Domitius. Here and now for your entertainment.
You have no idea what you're doing. You're going to get us all killed.
Wait, I exercise my right as a Vestal priestess to pardon him. I will not allow you to do this.
You're showing your true colors now, priestess. Your corruption sickens me. Domitius, ignore her. Proceed.
This is insanity.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
What's in here apart from a lot of money? Okay, I'm turned into gold, which is probably game over. But to be honest, that's a lot of money. At the very least, saves me the hassle of having to run back and forth to gather the money, so that's still kind of helpful.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Okay, I think I can't actually destroy those statues. So I have to somehow evade it. It is possible with a bit of luck. It's all very cramped.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Okay, so
Salve, friend.
we've had this conversation before.
I don't think so. Oh, Bacchus, how much did I drink last night? Sorry to have bothered you.
Okay, so I'll start by saving Yulia. Because I do keep the plaque, right? I do.
You, Sisyphus, attack or pursue the stone.
The willow bark and the... Okay, I do have this as well.
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She needs the resin of a plant called silphium. What? Quick, give it here. Yulia, you need to swallow this. Hopefully in a moment she should be able to breathe normally. That was extraordinary.
I'm a time traveler.
A what? I'm sorry, I must have misheard you. I think it's your accent, because it sounded like you said time traveler. But whatever kind of traveler you are, that was like the gods hearing my prayers and intervening. You just saved a person's life, and maybe she can tell us who poisoned her. That's a shame. Thanks again for saving Yulia's life.
Okay, so now to Ulpius. I have enough money to pay off his debt, and I should have enough money to bribe my way in to Malleolus's to this villa over here.
Hey, Horatius. How's it feel knowing your man's doomed to lose the election today?
If you're trying to goad me into an argument, it won't work. I'm a stoic, remember?
If the old man couldn't even keep his own daughter safe, how can anyone trust him to keep us safe, eh?
Why do I get the feeling you lot had something to do with Centilla's disappearance?
That's it. Blame everyone but yourself.
If I find out you did something to that poor sweet girl, not even the golden rule is gonna protect you. Got it?
As if I'll be afraid of you, little man.
Salve, friend. Welcome to life under the golden rule.
I need to talk to Ulpius.
All right, well, it was lovely to meet you.
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh, no. No. No, 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 no. Ulpius, what are you doing?
That's the idea.
What? Please,
I'm sorry.
please, help. Thank you.
Is this what Scintilla would want?
You know about that? How is that possible?
You'd never believe me if I told you.
Well, if you say so. You don't understand. I don't want to hurt anyone.
Maybe I can help solve your problem.
It's too late for that. Yulia and I made a pact. If I backed out now, I'd be betraying her.
Lucretia was able to get some Sylphium and save her life. She's going to be fine.
Oh, really? That changes things a little. But we're still in debt bondage to that monster. Unless you happen to have 2,000 denarii to pay off both of our debts.
I actually do.
Really? Wait. So, I guess you'd want me to work for you then?
No, you'd be free.
You'd do that for us? A couple of complete strangers?
Of course.
It seems today we are both blessed. This did not turn out how I thought. Thank you, friend. I never thought people like you existed.
Here's your money.
Thank you. I'll go and pay off our debts immediately. I just wish there was some way I could repay you. But I have nothing but the tunic on my back.
Don't worry about it.
I'll go and take care of things with Malleolus and tell Yulia the good news. Thanks again, friend. I'll never forget what you did for us.
I hoped you would have told me about Scintilla, but maybe you'll do it later.
What you did was extraordinary, and I'll never forget it. I'm thankful that you're here. Can I help you with something? Ah, that's a shame. Another time, then.
I'll talk to Yulia. She should be fine now. Wait. This goes to his villa? It did it all the time and I just never noticed it? I'm kind of an idiot, am I not? Especially given the fact...
Malleolus just released us and we never have to set foot
May
in that
Apollo
villa
keep you
again.
safe.
What? How?
The newcomer arranged it somehow.
Really? That's incredible. Oh, what a relief. I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. Just rest up, get your strength back, and we'll celebrate properly when you're ready.
I will. Thank you, Ulpius. I will.
Shalom.
Oh, you're Jewish? Can we talk about Scintilla?
Scintilla and I were in love. And then, 22 days ago, she went missing.
Why don't you start from the beginning?
All right. One night a few months ago, when I was cleaning Malleolus's villa, I heard a young woman singing. It was the most beautiful thing I had ever heard. I wasn't allowed out, so once everyone else was asleep, I climbed up the inside of the villa and onto the roof, just to see where that sound was coming from. And that's when I saw her. Standing in the garden of the magistrate's villa, I just sat there on the roof, listening to her with my chin on my knees. And for the first time in a long time, I felt hopeful. And then she looked up and saw me, and She smiled. I knew at that moment the fates had brought me to her, and from the moment she asked my name with this warmth and curiosity, I knew I'd have done anything for her. And so for weeks on end, each night I'd climb out of the villa and into her father's garden. We'd hold hands and talk about all the things we'd do once we got out of here. Like having our own vineyard. And then one morning I woke up and everyone was out searching for her. They said she'd vanished in the night. All I could do was keep my head down and try to hide how beside myself I was.
Is it possible she escaped somehow?
All I know is she loved me. And if she had known a way out, she would have told me. She'd never have taken her own life. And there's no way anybody could have killed her under the Golden Rule. I can't prove it, but I just know she's still alive somehow. Even now, it's as if I can hear her voice in my head, crying out to me. That can only mean one thing. Somebody abducted her. I have no idea how, or who would want to do something like that to such a sweet, lovely girl. But what else could have happened?
Any ideas who might have taken her?
My guess? Malleolus had something to do with it. He is without doubt the most evil man I have ever known. I have no idea where he'd be keeping her, but there is one room in his villa, upstairs, which is always locked. I've never seen the inside of it, and I haven't been able to steal a key without breaking the Golden Rule. But I have a feeling that if you could get in there somehow, it would shed light on a great many things.
I'll look into it.
Let me know what you discover. Shalom.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
Well, neither of us have a couple of hours to stand around talking about theology, law, and collective punishment, so I guess you're looking for a pithy summary? You remind me of an old story from my people about Hillel the Elder. He was approached by a Gentile and asked to explain the entire Torah while he stood on one foot. Obliging, he replied, "What is hateful to you, do not do to another. That is the whole Torah. The rest is commentary. Go and learn." Of course, what I want to know is, what kind of a god sees a young woman abducted and does nothing about it? Not my god. That's for sure.
Well, that is a good question. In fact, the problem of evil, from whence does evil come from? If God is both all-merciful and all-powerful, is one of the, most difficult theological questions. And in my mind, there is really no good answer for it. Like, it disproves at least one of God's attributes. It's simply impossible for God to be both all-powerful and all-good, and for him to allow the kind of things that are happening every day. Because sure, religious people, they like to sort of hand wave it. They say, oh, it's because of free will. The sinners are deciding by themselves to exact suffering upon each other. But that argument holds no water when you consider that there are children, literal children, or newborns dying and suffering every day. Like, what kind of choice did they have in that? What kind of choice does someone have? What kind of wrong has someone committed if they die of a horrible illness of some kind? Like, if there is a God, he's either impotent to stop evil, in which case, why would I worship him? Or he actually doesn't want to do that, which is even worse. Which, again, why would I worship such a being? That's a good question.
Thanks. I just wish there was a way to find out.
Do you know a way out of here?
I don't. But even if I did, I'm not going anywhere. I have unfinished business.
What's your story?
You mean where am I from and all that? Judea, originally. But when I was a child, I moved to Rome with my family, Romanized my name, and spent most of my life in the Jewish district of Trans-Tiberim, across the Tiber from the main city. That's where I was when the fires broke out. Everyone was running toward the river, and I, listening to my inner contrarian, ran the other way. Every road leading out of Rome was in chaos, full of people with all their belongings in carts, and brigands preying on them. Several hours down the Appian Way, I saw another Jewish family being attacked by 3 opportunists. So I picked up a branch from the side of the road and went to defend them. I can only assume they got the better of me, because the next thing I knew, I was waking up in a forest, by a river not far from here, with no memory of how I got there. It's strange though, because I still had my purse on me. Why would a robber knock me unconscious and throw me in a river, but not take my coins?
And good on you for risking your life to help others.
A lot of good it did me. And that family. I sometimes wonder what happened to them.
Who are you going to vote for?
Sentius, I suppose. I'd have to be insane to vote for Malleolus after what he did to me.
That's fair.
All right, friend. Thanks for the chat.
And where's Julia?
May Apollo keep you safe.
So I wanted to talk to her. We didn't have a chance to talk. I assume they are going somewhere together, so he's probably going to where she is. At least I would assume so. So where are you going? Well, I probably should have been paying attention.
Oh, it's you. Was there something you wanted? Lucretia says I'm supposed to rest.
What's your story?
You mean my life story? Oh, well, I grew up as part of a big family in Rome. Me and 3 older sisters. Our father found good husbands for my sisters, but I wasn't cut out for that kind of life. So he found me a job as a scribe for a prominent merchant. It was a good life for a while, until 7 months ago when the fires came. My colleagues and I worked desperately to try to protect our warehouse. We must have had 100 workers passing buckets of water, chanting prayers to Vulcan, but they fell on deaf ears. The fire was relentless, and it claimed everything and everyone. Well, almost everyone. My employer told me to grab what valuables I could and flee for the Tiber with the crowds. I remember diving into the river, and then the next thing I knew, I was waking up on the riverbank not far from here.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. I consider myself fortunate. At least I'm still alive.
You're supposed to tell me about your...
All right. Thank you again for saving my life.
About your assassination. Oh, wait. Duh. I am... Like, first of all, it was suicide. And second of all, she did tell me that story already. It was because Aurelia and Malleolus tricked her into signing herself away into indentured servitude. Note to Octavia. Okay, directions to a secret shrine. So this is not Malleolus's villa at the very least. Because at first I was confused. Why would there be such an easy way to get in there? Maybe I can bribe him with 1,000 denarii.
Malleolus isn't receiving visitors at the moment. Yeah? What have you got for me?
Here's 1,000 denarii.
Whoa, you must really want to see Malleolus. Let yourself in with this key.
Yeah, okay.
Just make sure you give it back on your way out.
Yeah, somehow I don't think this is going to happen. I am going to possess it for all eternity now.
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate.
Painted Greek vase depicting some kind of a battle. Note from Ulpius. Ulpius laments his lost love. Ulpius to his lost love, may God watch over you. Please, know that I held on as long as I could, but without you, my life is meaningless. I only hope we meet again in Gan Eden. A note from Julia. Julia to her captors, Malleolus and Claudia, curse you to the depths. By the time you read this, I will be already dead, because death is preferable to another day in dead bondage to you. May vultures peck out your livers in Tartarus for all of eternity. This appears to be a bottle of hemlock, a deadly poison. It smells musty, like mouse urine. I will not approach him yet. There was a staircase leading up, right? Or am I going crazy? There has to be. Okay, there is. There's a sobbing stranger behind that door, which is probably Scintilla. Malleolus's chest. A bunch of money, which I don't need. Are you Scintilla?
I'm not supposed to be in here.
My bad, I'll be going now.
I should hope so.
That's his wife. So this isn't the locked... Wait, but it did? Tell Ulpius that Scintilla isn't in Malleolus's villa, so it was her that was crying. Can we talk about it? It's a bit weird that I'm breaking into your home to talk to you about stuff, but...
Why are you still here?
And do you know anything about Scintilla's disappearance? Why are you locked in this room? That's a very good question.
My marital affairs are no concern of yours. Thank you very much.
Do you know anything about Scintilla's disappearance?
The dainty little thing from next door? Of course not. As much as I despise her father, I would never lay a finger on that poor, sweet child.
I think you're hiding something.
Well, I've had quite enough of this.
Domitius, come quickly. We're being robbed.
Do I need to call Domitius? Get out.
Okay. So I think that's it for this attempt. Okay, so I'll tell him she's not here.
Shalom.
I got into Malleolus's upstairs room, but there was no sign of Scintilla.
Really? I was sure he was hiding something in there. I feel like I've looked everywhere. At least everywhere I could get to. There are still two places I've never been able to reach. First, the palace. If Navia managed to get in, then I suppose Scintilla could have too. The only other place she could be is somewhere in the cistern network. I remember hearing that Dooley had been poking around in the upper cistern before he was locked up. So you could ask him about it, I suppose.
Yeah, but I need to elect someone else for magistrate for him to get freed.
All right, friend. Thanks for the chat.
I guess I'll confront Malleolus, like... What's the worst that can happen? The golden rule gets broken and they just run into the portal. Greek statue of a lion.
Domitius doesn't usually let anyone in here without a hefty tribute, so you must have been desperate to see me. Well, what do you want?
Well, do you know anything about Scintilla's disappearance?
Of course not. But as I always say, if Sentius can't protect his daughter, how can we trust him to protect the city?
What aren't you telling me? Fair enough for now. What do you think about the golden rule?
You mean the children's fable exploited by Sentius to scare us all into doing what he wants? Wait, don't tell me you've fallen victim to that monstrous lie?
What makes you sure it's not real?
The person making a claim bears the onus of proving that claim. Can you do that? Can you prove the golden rule is real?
Well, I can actually, but you'll only know about it for a couple of minutes until you're dead. The golden rule is definitely real.
Nonsense! There's no way you can prove that. If it was real and you'd seen someone break it, then you'd be dead already.
Well, what would it take to prove it to you it's real? Books, notes?
Surely, you're not one of those people who believes everything you read. As if a lie could be transformed into the truth by the simple act of writing it down.
I found a book called The Myth of the Golden Rule. Whoever wrote it obviously died because they refused to accept the golden rule. It is hardly proof, but...
You mean that book next to a golden statue in the theater? Tell me, how do you know that statue wasn't put there by Sentius himself? You can't know, can you?
I'm reliving the same day over and over again. The golden rule is broken each time.
What? Oh, I see what's happening here. Another poor, vulnerable soul taken in by Sentius's machinations. He won't get away with this much longer.
Well, actually, it should be easy to prove it by letting him know I know things I have no right of knowing. Like, you know, about his plan for the election, what he plans to do afterwards with Domitius, like his speech word by word. Even if I can't prove it, if I'm right, then accepting it will avert disaster. If I'm wrong, then accepting it will make the city a better place. Isn't that a good thing?
I disagree. I'll be guided by what is best for the city's people, and that means giving them the freedom to do as they wish.
I see. I can see nothing I say is going to convince you.
True, but that is simply because you are mistaken.
Do you know a way out of here?
I'm afraid not. We're stuck down here together, for better or worse. We're all going to have to make the best of it.
What's your story?
I'm Malleolus, and if it wasn't for this interruption, I'd be practicing my victory speech for the election later today.
What will you do if you win?
I'm glad you asked. I'll finally restore freedom to this city, just as I've been promising. These good people have suffered long enough under Sentius's tyranny.
How will you do that?
By declaring there's no such thing as the Golden Rule. It's a children's fable exploited by Sentius to frighten us into submission.
So, you're Quintius. I want you to withdraw from the election.
Are you insane? You barge into my villa uninvited and then make outrageous demands? Why would I withdraw from an election I'm bound to win?
Because as soon as you win, you're going to break the Golden Rule, which he won't care about.
Don't talk nonsense. There's no such thing as the Golden Rule.
You're going to arrest Sentius for treason and sentence him to death by gladiatorial combat.
How could you possibly know that?
Well, because I know the future.
Nonsense! This is nonsense! I don't know how you know about my plans, but I'm absolutely sure Sentius is involved somehow. And now, I'm going to enjoy watching Domitius kill him even more. Now, get out of here! You outstayed your very limited welcome.
Well, actually, also...
Get out of my villa before I have Domitius throw you out.
You're Quintius, so I can send the assassin after you? Right? But I'm not sure if it's possible in this loop, because I technically didn't speak about it. His wife could possibly maybe tell me some dirt on him, but she's angry at me too. Ask the old man if he's seen him. The old man under the temple? Is that what you mean?
Do I need to call Domitius?
Yeah, that's kind of botched. I will confront the assassin and see if I can send him here, but if not, then I'll just do it again on the next loop.
Thank you. What? All right.
Although, to be honest, him killing him would break the rule, right?
Stop right
and we would all
there.
die.
I'm looking for Tiberius Quinctius Crispus, otherwise known as Quinctius. Do you know where he is?
Let's see what's going to happen. Yes, he's in the villa right at the end of the road. He goes by Malleolus now.
Thank you.
It's probably going to break everything, but to be honest, I kinda need it to anyway. Because I wanted to reset the loop. So that I can better talk to his wife, for example. Among other things. And also possibly tell him that this guy is after him, and then maybe he'll try to like lay low. So this was kind of pointless. I could have lied, and it would have been quicker. But I was interested in seeing how exactly is it going to go down.
You there? I'm sorry to trouble you, but I couldn't know but you're not interested in them. Then Futuo Teipsi, get out of here.
I'm here for Malleolus. Who might you be?
The name's Domitius. You want to get to Malleolus? You go through me.
Then go through you, I shall.
It's real!
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Okay, so I'll try talking to his wife a little bit better, and then I'll try talking to him in such a way as to convince him to drop out of the election, because all of my objectives pretty much rest on that.
Salve, friend. All right then, I'll get out of your way.
You, Sisyphus, attack or pursue the stone.
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. Magistrate, yes. Yes, thank you, I'm delighted.
I'm not supposed to be in here.
Can we talk?
Talk? What business could you possibly have with me?
Why are you locked in this room?
My marital affairs are no concern of yours. Thank you very much.
What's your story?
I think a better question is, why am I being interrogated by a stranger who just barged into my villa? I have quite enough marriage trouble already, without having to explain to my husband why I am receiving strange men in private.
Do you know a way out of here?
Preferably the way you came in, by which I mean please leave.
What do you think about the golden rule?
I think it's about to be broken if you don't hurry up and leave.
Fair enough.
Finally! This is outrageous.
But maybe I can scare him with the knowledge of the assassin.
Domitius doesn't usually let anyone in here without a hefty tribute, so you must have been desperate to see me. Well, what do you want?
So, you're Quinctius.
My name is Marcus Malleolus Gurgis. You seem to have confused me with someone else.
You have one green eye and one blue, just like the description in this execution order from Emperor Nero.
You mean my heterochromia? I am guilty of nothing more than having different colored eyes. And I'm hardly the only person with the condition. Alexander the Great had it too, as it happens. I like to think it is simply the way the gods have chosen to mark a natural-born ruler. Nothing more.
Well, apparently Quinctius also suffers from delusions of grandeur.
Well, I am not suffering from any delusions, as today's election will firmly establish.
I can't prove it yet, but I will.
Unlikely, because it simply isn't true. Now, was there something else you wanted? I trust you can see yourself out.
Well, is there something here that could serve as proof?
Why are you still here?
How would you like some help getting back at Malleolus?
An intriguing proposition. Go on.
I don't think Malleolus is who he says he is.
Perhaps you're not as silly as those clothes make you look. What makes you say that?
Just a hunch. I was hoping we could figure out his true identity together.
You know, I may have the very thing you're looking for. Some time ago, when he still cared for me, he wrote me a love letter. Only, he used the wrong name. Now, addressing one's wife by the wrong name is not unheard of among philandering Romans. But in this case, the name he got wrong was his own. I confronted him about it, and he stammered through some incoherent response. I let it go, eventually, and yet questions have lingered in the back of my mind ever since. But wait a minute. Why exactly are you helping me?
Well, I want to force him to withdraw from the election.
To withdraw? Listen, I may not be Penelope to his Ulysses, but to ruin his plans to become a magistrate? You must think me quite mad. I've heard enough. Get out of here at once.
Domitius, come quickly. We're being robbed.
Do I need to call Domitius?
Okay, I kinda screwed this then. Because do you have the letter like somewhere around here that I could take? Or do I need to make another loop? Yeah, probably. Well, I'm sorry about that. That's a bit annoying. Well, at least I can do it quickly with the help of the assassin. I just need to lie to him and then he'll kickstart it. So, I'll do it next time though, because this episode has been long enough. So I'm going to save and end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!